So here we go, not doing the dubbing over with the audio for this one. We're just going in for the live. Well, not live, but you know what I mean. So, pulling up the old socks. The red socks are always good. Good for the root chakra. So, first form, we're going to do a cleansing form. Some of you will have done some of these exercises before, but we're going to turn it into a form. Okay, so settling into Wuji, bringing the hands in front of the lower dantian. I'll stand sideways on so you get a better perspective. Breathing into my dantian. And again, now I'm sensing that sensation between my dantian and the fingers. So already we're using the chi field, the chi sensitivity we've been working on. Feeling an expansion as I breathe in. Feeling my fingers expand and fill with a magnetic energy in response to the breath. Then palms downwards, separating, drawing in as I sink, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Hands come to the side, gather up into heaven, breathing in, breathing out as I sink, down the sides, breathing in, coming up the inside channels of the legs, breathing out, sinking, breathing in, rising, breathing in as I sink, breathing out down the sides of the gallbladder channel, at the inside of the liver channel, breathing in, offering the hands forward, breathing in, breathing out, 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 breathing in, breathing out. When we get into a flow, all the time, now bringing in all the other concepts of intention, concept of gathering chi from the heaven, washing over my body, down the sides of my body, drawing in the yin chi from the earth, gathering it up through my center, offering it out, gathering up, sitting down, cleansing everything, clearing the sludge, all the psychic crap that everyone tries to put onto us and in our lives. Cleansing our auric field, and we're healers. Building sensitivity to our environment. Joining heaven with earth. Blending the two fields of energy together. Making sure there's a lovely mix of yin and yang. For those of you who are energy healers, this is a vital exercise. And it's done with a beautiful water flow as it's flowing, and also then we are grounded in the earth, and also we are expanding a little bit, so there's a small bit of fire energy as we expand and expand, not too much fire though. There's a small bit of twist twisting motion in the wrists and elbows. Small bit of wood element in there. And we're creating an obvious auric boundary, which of course is your metal element. So the truth of all these trainings is all the elements are contained within. From here, dropping down, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, loading the guns in the holster, breathing out, sending the chi away. Nice and relaxed. In fact, I'm so relaxed in this one, I feel like my trousers are going to fall. We can't have that, can we? That would be a chi life embarrassment. Breathing in. And it's a fantastic exercise for you guys coming home from work this evening. For those of you beginning to start the day. So the philosophy behind this exercise is you're dealing with outside elements coming in and you're cleansing and throwing away energy you don't need. Down to the low dantian. Settle in. Feel expansion and contraction of chi. Feel how much fuller that is. Feel the tingling, the buzzing sensation, the fact that your hands are now armor plated with chi, tingling, buzzing. You may even notice some energy movement in the spaces. Now, so the two can be used together, so you can combine the two and flow from one to the other. It's entirely up to you. Just going to ground to finish, opening out, breathing in, palms down, breathing out, pushing. Okay, so coming back over to the camera for a chat. I think as an instructor now, it's important to understand the philosophy behind these two movements. This is a form I want you to practice every day for the next 5 days. Get familiar with it. Practice twice a day, so that you get familiar with the feelings and how the feelings change in your chi field in the low dantian, and then notice how afterwards, just even sitting down, how the hands, arms feel, how maybe the feet, the body feel. It's primarily a water movement, so it does have that central nervous system cleansing approach, which we've already discussed in our previous modules. Also, the first movement, when we cleanse mainly the inside of the body and we gather heaven and earth, that really works it really actually, believe it or not, works the microcosmic orbit, which is that internal meditation that some of you may have done if you've been studying the Tao Yin with me on the 7-week Tao Yin course. If you haven't, I invite you to check that out. It's very useful. And the larger movement is the macrocosm, so the concept that everything exists in a larger sphere. In other words, the planets, the solar system, our galaxy is in the macrocosm. And the concept that the microcosm is basically within us. We are a connection of cells. Some cells burn brighter than others, like stars. Some are a cluster of cells, like neurons, like galaxies. And if we're to believe quantum physics, we're made of more space than we're made of solid matter. So we are a smaller version of the universe within us, though it doesn't appear that way when we've got this flesh and bone. But effectively, if we were to go fractally deep into the body, that's what we are. I also invite you to check out a video, I think it's on YouTube, called The Holographic Universe. Now, I believe this video was made like in the late 70s, but it's quite phenomenal, the special effects and the visuals that were used in it in the time. And that really makes you think very closely about the concept of being holographic, being part of a fractal, in other words, being a small portion of the larger picture. This kind of cleansing it's pretty vital as an instructor. You can incorporate it into your classes. You can incorporate it as a preparation or as a type of cleansing between forms. But I'd like to invite you to work on this for the next week. That's one of your tasks. And we then build on this cleansing into a form. So this is like the first stage of the cleansing form. So how often would I do it? If I got a difficult day ahead, if I know I'm under pressure to deliver, this is when I'll do it. If I'm between clients and I know something big's coming up, I will do it. If I need to clear my mind before I do a big mental task, or maybe I have a project or an assignment to deliver if I'm studying, I will do it. It's actually very nice to do after a bath or after a shower. You feel like you've not only washed yourself physically, but you've washed yourself spiritually. It's quite an interesting experiment to do. I'd also invite you in your space where you train to go and buy some Epsom salts. You can try this at home. So buy some good quality Epsom salts, and you'll need a metal dish or a metal container, preferably something quite strong, not a non-stick frying pan, but like a proper metal pot. And you want to put about 3 or 4 tablespoons of Epsom salts into the bottom of the pot or the metal dish. And then make sure you have some surgical spirits. It has to be surgical spirits. You can get this in a chemist or a pharmacy. It's 100% or 70-80% alcohol for cleansing, but it burns with a blue flame. Don't use any other kind of alcohols, so don't be tempted to use surgical white spirits or anything like that. It has to be the surgical. It burns a lot cleaner. And then what you want to do is douse the 3 tablespoons of Epsom salts in about 1 to 2 teaspoons, smaller spoons, 5 mils, so 10 mils of surgical spirit. Douse the Epsom salts. If you can, make like a little mountain of Epsom salts and then douse with the surgical spirits on top. Then set light to that, be careful, and it will burn, and the salts will burn and they will crackle, and you may see some little mini fireworks, small little crackles and pops. And we've done this, I believe, I think in one of Alan's spaces to cleanse before we train. So you can actually cleanse, reionize the air in the space where you cleanse. It's a nice ceremony to do before the training to build up ionization of air, especially if it's a stagnant training hall, if it's an old building and it's prone to mold or dust, or it just feels clammy. It's good to do if the hall has been used by athletes or by martial artists. A lot of sweating, there's a lot of acrid energy in the air. Fantastic to do. I invite you to try that. It's not part of your action lists, it's just a nice little thing to do for yourselves. Thanks for watching. Enjoy this bonus module and do your cleansing, and I look forward to seeing you the results. Thank you.